how much value can you provide? Because when the value that you provide exceeds the cost of whatever it is that you're selling, well, you're gonna have a much easier time selling this product to make that money. If you can provide more value, you will be able to make more money. And this is one of those things that gets thrown around all the time. Just provide more value, provide more value. The reason why doctors make more money than cashiers is because doctors provide more value. But when it comes to actually implementing it, that's where it gets hard. How do you actually provide more value with whatever it is that you're doing? And this is now where you have to be creative. You generally have two different extremes when it comes to value. You have the value of luxury, and then you have the value of cheap. And you have to decide where on the spectrum that you want to be, because in the middle, well, there's not that much value. The value is on the extremes. I have a lot of family in a state in India called Punjab. And when I go to India, well, growing up, I would always look for the cheapest tickets. How do you get to India as cheap as possible? And so you'd always look for the airlines that are offering the cheapest and most affordable discount tickets to get to India. That's the discount side, the cheap side. Well, on the alternative, now when I go to India, I'm not looking for the cheapest tickets. I'm looking for tickets that are going to provide me with more value. I want a seat that's going to be able to lay down. I want a pod. I want to have the space that way I can sit comfortably. This is going to cost me 5-6 times more than what a cheap ticket would cost me, but I'm not looking for the discounted price. I'm looking for the value. You have very few people that are saying, you know what, I want an average ticket. I want to look for the average flight that where I pay more than what the cheapest would cost, but I don't want to pay for the highest stuff. I want something completely average. Most people are either saying, I want the discount ticket or I want the nice seat. Now the question is now, how do you do that? And we cover these types of things in Business Briefs, which is my free business newsletter where every day my team is breaking down what's happening in terms of business trends and innovation and funding. That way you can stay up to date as an entrepreneur of what's happening in the business world. That way you can make smarter decisions in your business. So if you have a business, if you are an entrepreneur, I highly recommend you join Business Briefs because there's so much information packed into these emails and because it's completely free. So if you haven't joined Business Briefs yet, I'll put the link to how you can join Business Briefs down in the description below. But in order to provide this type of value, you have to make sure that your target customer is aligning with who your product is for. Because if now you realize, I want to be the discount person, I want to offer the cheapest stuff possible, you got to make sure your marketing is aligned with that and your customers are in alignment with that. You have to tailor your marketing towards one person, because if you say, well, anybody could buy my stuff, and you're that middle of the range product where, yeah, you're kind of the affordable person, but you're not the best person, and anybody can have it. Well, the bargain hunters, the people that want the cheap stuff, are not going to want your product because you're more expensive than the cheap people, and the people that want the nice stuff, people that want the nice customer service, the people that want the most value, they're not going to want your stuff because you're kind of the middle of the range person, and now you're left with the scraps. So if you want to be able to provide more value to more people, you got to first identify what value that you can provide. Are you providing the most customer service, the most value, the most luxury, the most quality, the best service ever? Or are you providing an affordable product? If it's neither of these, what is that specific piece of value? The more specific you can get here, the better. How can you provide the most value to your readers, to your customers, to your buyers? That way you can now take care of them. One of the things that we do at Market Briefs and Business Briefs, which is Briefs Media, my media company, is we created a system where now we want to provide the best customer service possible when it comes to our newsletter. Now you might be thinking, customer service for a newsletter? What are you talking about? Well, one of the things that we do is we have a system where when people respond to our emails, we like to respond back. We have a customer service team that sits there to respond to our emails because we want to provide an additional value to our readers that nobody else does. Because when most people read a newsletter, you would expect and assume that someone's sending an email to you, you read it, and then if you respond, it goes into this black hole. We wanted to change that. So now when people respond to our emails, you get a response back. So ask yourself this question: what value can you provide that nobody else is providing? Once you can solve that question and you can put it within here, now the question is, how can you scale it? How can you get more customers? And this is all about marketing now. It's just about exposure, because once you have the value product, once you have the real way where you can differentiate yourself from everybody else, now it's all about getting people to hear about it and getting people to actually use the product. And now this can be now your paid advertising, your organic marketing, your sponsorships, whatever it might be. But now it's all about how do you craft the message so the right person will hear your product and have to have it. Because when a bargain hunter is looking for a cheap flight and you talk about how you have the cheapest flights out there, They know that they need your product. When you're offering the best service possible, the most customer service, the best quality possible, the quality hunters will know that they have to have your product. And this is where you have to be able to differentiate and define this value that where the people who want your product will immediately identify with it. Because if you're ambiguous with it, where I have a good product, well, good products don't really do anything for anybody. Either you got to have the best product or the cheapest product if you want to be able to provide the most value. If it's not that, it's the best customer service. If it's not that, then it's the best experience. And if it's not that, then what is it? What is your key piece of value that will differentiate you, your company, your product, your service from everything else? And once you know that, that's your pitch to get your right customer to hear you, because once they hear this pitch, they will immediately realize that this is the product that I need. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.